We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again. It's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What up? What up?
Hey man, did you see Charleston White got the boys jumped on him at the show?
Who?
Charleston White. Oh my God. So apparently he was doing a show out in Houston. Now for a couple of years now, he's been talking real bad about the boys over at Rap-A-Lot, Jay Prince Jr. And I don't know if these people were associated with them whatsoever, though, right? He got on live afterwards and was still talking bad about them boys afterwards or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny, though, man, because, he was talking, and these two dudes that were wearing Lakers jerseys, right, sitting here front row of his show. And it looked like they came there to haggle them, to do whatever. And so yeah, man, Charleston White picks up one of the vase that they had decorated with flowers. Boy walks up on him, you know what I'm saying, while he's on the stage. He tried to hit him with the vase. Then also tries to hit him with the mic, but by the time the dude's climbing up there, the other boy gets up there and did a nice Goldberg spear. Got him a couple of good little punches in and everything like that, though, man. But to Charleston's White point, y'all came to see me, and I already got the back end, so I'm cool either way. But I'm just surprised, though, man, that about this. I'm not surprised that this happened in Houston, seeing that he's had some real harsh words for some of them Houston boys. But I am kind of surprised that that for one, that security let the boys get on stage.
That's what I was gonna say. Not only should he have gotten paid, he also should be suing, because you had, like, here's the thing. As a promoter, you know who you bringing in, right? He's just coming to do a job. He can have whatever opinion he wants.
Right.
And for that matter, he can say what he wants to say. Obviously, there are consequences when you say stuff, but at the same time, if you're paying me to do a job, you're also responsible for the security. So yeah, it's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
You brought me on because you know what I do, right? And so now, now that I'm here, you gotta provide that protection, though, bro. But listen, listen, Charleston White was backing out of it, and one dude still got all the way around on both stages and got a good chat. I mean, this is a textbook Goldberg Edge kind of spear, though, bro. It was great WWE technique.
Yeah. Why it can't be AEW technique, bro?
Well, because all the spears, the real spears, are WWE. Goldberg, Edge, they were originally WWE. Who does a spear in AEW anyway?
Adam Copeland.
Oh my God, Edge. That's my point. Edge.
Okay, he in AEW.
Well, still, his original spear was WWE.
See.
Anywho, man, let's get that music though, man. We got some things to talk about, bro.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep. Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. Click on the notifications, click on the bell, or whatever you see. You get the heads up that your boys and Miss doing their thing. Ace Kennedy.
Bro,
I got a question for you.
Before you get okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna say no. Go ahead with your question because I ours is gonna spark something else. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was watching the NBA in-season tournament.
Okay.
And I saw the Lakers playing against the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And listen, bro, I'm watching the game, and I'm glad that Zion is out there full time.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm watching this game, I'm watching this thinking, damn, Zion looks fat, bro. Like he looks off-season fat. Now, I'm only saying this from this. I'm only saying this from the standpoint. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so like right now, right? If I stepped on the scale, I would say, listen, birthday weekend been killer. So I've been doing some eating a bunch of, and my mama's in town, came in town. So I've been eating good, way more stuff than that. So I think I might step on the scale right now, might be 205, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know that if I get on the court 2 times this week for maybe 2 hours a piece, I'm going to be back down 195 maybe, right? Mm-hmm. That being said, though, bro, I'm just sitting here thinking like, okay, well, he is top tier young athlete, right? And so my thing is you're playing basketball for close to 3 hours out of the day, and you're playing maybe 3 games a week, say give or take, right? And my thing that I'm just trying to, I'm that I can't quite figure out, bro, is how the hell is Zion fat now? Like I can understand sometimes you might come into the season out of shape, but you might say, I'm working myself into shape. Cool. He's healthy. So that's one thing. He is healthy. But he looks fat though, bro. So I'm just saying, like, are you concerned yet of Zion's weight?
I'm not.
He looks
I'm not.
a bit of 300 pounds right now, bro.
I don't even care. Here's my thing. This is why I don't care. Did Big Baby Glenn Davis get as much scrutiny as Zion?
He didn't. That's a good question, but there's a caveat to that answer.
What's the caveat?
The caveat to that answer is that Glenn Big Baby Davis wasn't expected to be the player Zion is. And for one, he's not expected to do the things that Zion does.
Let me ask you a question. When the New Orleans Pelicans drafted Zion, did he have weight issues?
Yes.
Okay. So again, not my problem. You drafted him knowing the conditioning that he was in. You drafted him understanding what he went through in college, how he stepped through a shoe in college, how weight and stuff has been conversated about since before he was drafted. So you knew that. Yep. So with that being said, that's your bad.
Yes, no, I get that. From an organization, I can understand that. I'm not talking about the organization. I'm just saying, as a basketball fan, here's where I'm going with that. Because the New Orleans Pelicans are a significantly different team with Zion on the court versus off the court. And I think that one of the things that's crazy to me, though, bro, is that I think that a lot of the injuries that I think that he could potentially have down the line could be directly tied to him. Listen, he is doing something at a size that nobody has ever seen before. That's literally like you watching. He's bigger than Myles Garrett, right? And Myles Garrett got hops, but he got Zion hops, right? And Zion is playing at the NBA, the elite of the elite. And I just think that as a basketball fan and a fan of his, it concerns me that the man is 23 years old and he's fat. Like, I just don't.
It doesn't concern me because as a basketball fan, here's my thing. I want to see him on the court. And yes. So my thing is, as long as he is on the court, I don't care what size he is. It's almost like, fat James Harden, right? Or Thickums. Thickums play. I mean, and granted, they weren't playing at that capacity. Yes. But they also play different positions.
Yes.
So my thing is that as long as he remains healthy and is able to play, I don't see an issue with it. Because here's the thing. He signed a new contract.
Yep. And they knew he was fat when they signed him, but he has weight provisions in his contract.
100%. So again, I don't care, because if he understands what he signed, then the organization has protected themselves. Then that man is a grown man.
Am I tripping? Listen, so I was blown away because, like, I saw a lot of people commenting on it. I saw Stephen A. Smith saying the same thing that I saw. Like, I'm watching him, LeBron James shooting a free throw, and I saw Zion hunched over, and he had a whole gut. Like, it looks like a whole. And listen, don't get me wrong. He's still bulky, right? So he still can do what he do. But listen, if you just go back and you look at Zion's high school mixtape and how much higher he jumps, it's like, I get that Zion can do some of the same things, but I guess I just want to see. I would love nothing more than to see Zion at his absolute peak. Like, in high school, he was probably about 275, but his head is above the rim, and look at eye level. And that's the Zion I want to see, how effective that could be. Not a Zion that, I can still do a windmill. Well, you got hops naturally, but dog, he's off season fat, and he's not quite in the middle of the season yet, though, bro. That's a concern.
I understand, but at the same time, that man is a grown man.
You can't outwork a bad diet. But then my thing is that, how bad of a diet do you have to be that you're playing basketball in games 3 to 4 times a week, and you're burning all these calories? Think about that. How much food are you really eating? Like, to still be fat as an NBA player, bro?
Well, it goes to the longevity of LeBron James, right? Meaning, couple of things. LeBron was clearly, and I mean clearly, the best player on the floor for both teams. And he is, 38?
38.
He's 38 years old, and he looks in better shape than some of the 21-year-olds, some of the 19-year-olds, because he understood the nutrition and what it takes to build your body. Like, him and Tom Brady are the most elite athletes when it comes to physical conditioning, taking examples of taking care of yourself for the long haul. And unfortunately, some of the younger guys, like Zion or some of the other guys, they don't understand that yet. And so, like I said, the concern for me as a fan, I just want to see him on the floor, and all of the things that are concerning should come from the organization.
I'm gonna get you out of here on this. One last thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. Do you think that it bothers him hearing that, or do you think he's like, I got the bag either way? Like,
no, it bothers him.
You hear people calling him fat.
Yeah. He addressed it last year when the mental health stuff came out, where he was actually cleared to play, but he was like, nah, I'm not mentally there. And then, people was like, bro, if you healthy, what you mean? Like, your team is in the playoffs, bro. Like, y'all can make a run.
Right.
He went to that show, wasn't it Gilbert Arenas and all of them? I don't remember who it was. He was on a show where he basically talked about it.
No, I think he was on the shop. I think he was on with LeBron them.
Okay, I don't know where he was at, but he was talking. He addressed like the stuff about the diet and how he understands like this and how he was gonna come back better. But he is still a young man. Even though he's an adult, he's a young man. So I have, what is he, 23?
He's like 23.
I have a son that's 23.
And he ain't fat.
He's not. But what I'm saying is the mindset.
I get what you mean. But I guess
what I'm saying is there are certain things that you aren't, if you're not born with them, if you don't obtain them, they're not there. Like, where it's like drive, determination.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Some of those things you can't teach somebody. The only way they can be taught is if the person is willing to learn, right?
Yeah.
But you have to have that natural go get itness that I want to do it. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. And so, unfortunately, Zion could be a great player and he could be better, but he would need to do And if he's not willing to do that, then that's not something you can teach.
I love seeing him play though, bro. But I want to see him. I want to see whatever this like. Give me the best version of Zion right now, right? But you can't tell me that this is the best you available.
Listen, he has to want the best for himself, bro. It's gonna take, unfortunately, for people like that. It's gonna take for something to happen, where he's unable to do things, and then he'll be motivated to want to do better. And again, if the provisions is in place and then you look at his check and it ain't what it's supposed to be, that could be, maybe the money is motivation, so I'm just saying, but along this subject of the in-season tournament and LeBron, like, I want to come back to the game, but there was something we forgot to address. Austin Rivers. Ain't that it? Austin Rivers?
Rivers or Reeves? The Laker player. Or Doc Rivers' son.
Doc Rivers' son.
Yeah, Austin Rivers.
Okay. So he was on something and he talked about the NBA not appreciating LeBron for who he is, right?
Absolutely.
Basically, like, look, when LeBron retires, the league is in trouble. Not from the standpoint of having great entertainment, great talent, great stars, but the face of the league is gone. Like a face, right? We had Michael Jordan, who was a face. You know what I'm saying? Yep. We had Kobe Bryant, who was the face. You know what I'm saying? We have LeBron James, who was the face. We don't have another face when he leaves. Like, we have great players. KD isn't the face of the league. Steph isn't the face of the league. You know what I'm saying? They are phenomenal players, superstars. But I'm saying to hang, like, don't get me wrong, marketability is still there, but it's a difference when I say face of the league. Yeah. Like, we don't have one. Ja's not the face of the league. My boy Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't the face of the league.
And it doesn't help that them boys Shai's Canadian. Right. And it doesn't help that Giannis is from Greece. Joker, he's not, he's foreign as well. Joel Embiid, he's foreign. Like Luka. All of these top, all of the top, you talk about the top 10 players in the league. And let's just say, if you talk about, let's just say top 10 players, and then you could even make that a more even narrow list when you talk about top under 25, under 26, that's young.
But I'm just talking about
who would you think would be a candidate for the next face of the league?
Nobody, because
I don't like. Listen, I don't like anybody like that.
No, listen. Because even if you said Tatum, right? Tatum ain't finna be the face of the NBA.
Nah, I don't think so either, bro.
And my thing is, I like Tatum. I think Tatum is great. I think Tatum is dope. I don't.
Jaylen Brown, highest paid, he ain't the face. Because some people don't even think he's the best player on his team.
Like, now everybody's trying to talk up old boy from Indiana. But
Halliburton.
Again, not the face. Wemby, not the face. Like, there's nobody who is taking this league by storm. Like, if Halliburton is the most talked about person right now,
you know who I think have potential. I just thought about that. I think, and hear me out on this, I think Anthony Edwards has an opportunity to be the best of the league. Now, listen, here's where I'm going with that. For starters, this is why I think Anthony Davis gives you Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards gives you the spectacular plays, right? The superhuman ability kinds of plays, right? That I don't think that you still have Steph, right? But I think the shooting is something that's so much of an exception. But I think the very highlight-worthy plays, I think Anthony Edwards has the ability to give you the Jordan dunks and still has time to get the Steph shot down, right?
So what you're telling me is Anthony Edwards, LeBron retires at the end of this season. Anthony Edwards is now ready to be
not ready, but he could.
Let me ask my question. Anthony Edwards is ready to be in Space Jam 3. He is ready to be on the Wheaties box.
He was already in the movie.
Doesn't matter. What was the movie?
What's the gyms? The movie he did with the basketball with Adam Sandler in there though. He did a movie, yeah, Jim. He didn't do Jim. No, it's a movie with him and the guy from Spain that was in the movie that plays on the Spanish team though, man.
I mean,
Ron had there, but no, listen, I'm saying the game wise, I think that Anthony Edwards has marketable game.
Right, but Charles, that's what I'm saying. We have great players in the league. It is a difference to be the face of the, like, what I'm saying is my daughter doesn't know, Charlie doesn't know anything outside the Thunder. Anytime she sees any game on TV, is that the Thunder? No, baby, that's not the Thunder. Well, where are they at? Like, they in LA, right?
Right.
But she knows who LeBron James is. Like, she could see LeBron in a commercial, on TV playing, or like, for instance, when the Lakers just played the Thunder probably about a week ago. And I said, baby, LeBron is in Oklahoma City. She was like, can we go? I'm like, baby, the game is happening right this second. Like, she just couldn't fathom that LeBron James was 15 minutes away from our house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. If I say, baby, Anthony Edwards, who? Like, that's
Listen,
what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you what it's going to take. What it's going to take is for a player to come out and do what James Harden did those back-to-back seasons where he averaged like 30-something. So it's going to take for you to average 30-something. But they can't just be Shea 30. Shea will give you a quiet 30 piece.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Listen, I'm glad you
quietest 30 piece you'll ever find.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to that. I'm put a pin in that.
Yeah, Shea will give you 30 points, and it's because 15 of them are from free throws, right? Like, he'll give you a cool 30 piece, and you look up and you think like, well, it's 30, but that's why I think that all 30s and all numbers aren't created equally. But I think that if you give highlight-worthy, poster-worthy plays all season long, because Jordan wasn't always that Jordan. It took him some time, right? He always made the plays, but the face of the league, that took Jordan probably, I would say, 6 years before he was like the face of the league, the face. So I say that to say Ant-Man got some time because I think that he has the personality too, but he has the game that I think to be marketable. But I think that he's got to get out of Minnesota if that's the case. Ain't nobody going to be the face of the league in Minnesota.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Until he made poor choices, Ja Morant was about to be the face.
I think so too.
And this is why. Because didn't you take Landon to go see Ja?
I was trying to.
Oh, okay. Well,
I was willing to drive to Memphis to go see him play.
You was willing to do it, right?
Yeah.
That was a game I went to where I saw him in person. He's must see, like. And don't get me wrong, people want to see Wemby right now. I get it, but I just don't feel the same way about Wemby that I did about Ja, right?
Yeah.
And so it's going to he gonna have to he got to be real quiet this year. He got to have a almost MVP level season next year.
Kobe redeemed himself.
Huh?
So Kobe redeemed himself.
He did.
So I think that he has opportunity to.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. He does. He ain't even necessarily got to win a championship. If he did, it would help. But I'm saying he got to have he got to be in the conversation for MVP next year because he just got to be quiet this year. He just got to be quiet, come out, give his team a spark, start showing that, saying the right things. And this is PR year. And then next year, he just got to go out and ball out. So he has the opportunity to be that. And then he could get them endorsements back and do, because when I say face, it ain't just about the basketball. It's got to be the whole package.
Yeah, I agree.
But so real quick, you brought up Shea. Two things about Shea. Number one, you said the quiet 30, bro. Me, the boys, and Layla and Carly was at the game, and dog, we just looked up, and this man had 30 something points. We was like, bro, that was a quiet 30.
Quiet
we
30.
literally said that. But he ended up with 42 that night, and it was bananas.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? One of the problems that I have, probably the only problem that I have with Shay, is that sometimes I wonder when he gives you that quiet 30, it's a quiet 30, regardless if it's a win or a loss. And so sometimes I wonder what's the impact of his 30 points, right? Like his 30 points are to keep you steady. So you'll always be in the game because he's going to always find a way to get buckets. He literally is a bucket. But I also just think that because he doesn't necessarily make the routine play that you say, if you're a teammate, you'd be like, dang, oh wow. It's like he's so good.
He has those moments, but it's not like if Westbrook dunks, like it's just gonna shut down the whole.
Yes. But not just that. If I'm on his team, that makes me hype. And I think that Shay will just give you some buckets, some easy middies, some this, that, and the other. And it's like, it's cool. But that's why I think that he'll give you a quiet 30 because it's 30 with no wow factor to it.
It's no wow factor, but it is effective because because here's the thing. For one, we do have one of the best records in the NBA.
Facts.
We are number 2 in the West as we currently speak. And not only that, I think what the Thunder have done well, which is something I've always wanted, is to have a team that consistently can score and not just rely on one person. Because Shea does take some games off in the year. You know, he has a nagging foot injury and, you know, a couple of things. But when he's gone, the ball moves around more and we still have people that get buckets. So I like the fact that we're not just reliant, like if one person is out, then we ain't got to worry about, you know, if we can still win a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Shea is out, and then that just automatically means a loss. But
my boy Lou Dorm stepped up his offense this year.
Isaiah Joe, bro. Oh, big night in Oklahoma City. This was the other part of that. Tonight is the vote to see if we get the new arena for the Thunder, which is very nerve-wracking to me because I'm not in an area where I get to vote on it, but it's like in the Oklahoma City area, something like that.
Yeah.
And what's frustrating about it is, you know, what happened with the Supersonics. So I'm concerned that if we don't say yes to this, that they could be like,
let's go back to Seattle then, bro.
That's what I'm nervous about. That would break my heart, bro. So big night in Oklahoma. I'm like, you know, antsy, just waiting to see what the results end up being. But
listen, you brought up Oklahoma, so let's talk about it. Silver talked about Giddy. Is it?
So basically where we're at, right? First of all, the young lady who was involved ended up hiring this, I don't know the girl's name, but some attorney that's like famous for getting the job done.
Yeah.
And basically what Adam Silver said is like, look, we've never punished somebody for speculation, meaning that when the stuff pictures came out, it's all speculatory on what the age of the girl is and what happened within the relationship, this, that, and the other. So it's still a speculatory incident. So they couldn't suspend him or do anything because a lot of people was wondering why he was still playing basketball when the investigation was going on. Right. Now, what people don't know, unless you are looking into it, this incident actually didn't happen this year. The pictures were released this year. This actually happened when I believe he was 19. And he had told the Thunder organization about it. They, you know, believed him as far as like him being duped, this, that, and the other. So they was like, no, cool. Which is why now Mark Daigneault, Giddy, and the Thunder are not commenting on it because they've already done their investigation and feel good about the information that was presented. And then the league, they're just like, look, it's up to the league at this point. The league is like, listen, because now it is in a criminal investigation, they have to play second fiddle and wait for the criminal investigation portion to be over before they can do anything. But as far as they're concerned, they're like, listen, we ain't never punished nobody for it being speculation. So that's where it currently sits at the moment.
Yeah, no, it is interesting though, man, that he's still out there. I can appreciate that on some level because at least that way it's not assuming that he is guilty of it though by you
But
just pulling him.
yeah,
It's the
but
PR if you pull him like, hey, we're gonna just pull you just in case.
but the problem is I'm disappointed with the rest of the NBA fanhood because every time he touches the ball, they boo.
Oh, you
Right?
got to. No, 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 no,
No,
no.
no, no. This is why. This is.
As
I'm
a
gonna let
Thunder fan, I can see why you would say that.
No, 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 no. It's not even as a Thunder fan. Because what you're doing, you have already cast that man as guilty, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't know. That's no. So
It's
you,
I get what you're saying. I
bro.
totally get what you're saying, but
So
it's part of this. To me, that's a part of fanhood. I understand what you're saying, even but this, if he comes out and let's just say hypothetically, bro, if this girl says, you know what, I wasn't even underage. Matter of fact, I wasn't 17, I was 37, right? He's still gonna get booed for the underage thing. And I think that it just comes with you attracting that kind of attention and your fanhood knows, but I don't think that there's anything that he would be able to do. Just like I fully expect for John Morant also to get booed for a while. Kyrie still gets booed for a while. It's like James Harden going back to Philly. He's going to get booed.
no, 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 no. And every person you just mentioned were all different situations. What I'm saying is this: when you and I know you hate this word, but unfortunately, that's what it is. When you are the victim, how are you getting booed? What I'm saying is, here's the difference, Charles. If they booed Josh Giddy before any of this happened, like they just booed him just because, like, okay, for instance, when Kawhi Leonard went back to San Antonio and they booed him because they still mad, or if KD comes back to Oklahoma and they booing him because they still mad, that is a basketball related booing. When you're talking about this man has been duped of somebody getting over on him, whether they had stolen money or whatever the case may be, you don't boo the person that got affected by that. That's what I'm saying. That has nothing to do with fandom.
I think that it does, bro. I think that it's just to me, it's part of to me, it's part of one of those things when you're rooting against the other guys and for your team. You might and I think that it's just all psychological. I honestly don't think that those people are booing him just because they feel like he actually did it. Listen, no. I'm gonna tell you. I think that they're booing him because they think that booing him about that is going to psychologically make him miss a shot or make him think or get in his head. I honestly don't think that all of the people that are booing him feels like he's guilty.
The reason why I believe that they do think he's guilty is because of the vitriol and the comments that are spewed on social media, right?
Social media is different. Social media is different. In arena, I'm talking about in the game.
Social media is not different in this situation. The reason what I'm saying is when I have regular conversations about this particular thing, people are, you know what people bring up? And
Giddy
you and
for the kiddies.
People bring up the fact that why are we not giving Giddy the same amount of spirit that we gave John Morant? Completely different situations.
I agree with that.
What I'm saying is people just look at the headlines that Giddy's been messing with underage girls. That's all they know. So they are carrying that to the games. That's what I mean by it being going right along with social media.
Listen, it's such, to me, this is my thing. I think the reason for that is that I think, okay, here's why I think it is different. I think that the Ja Morant's thing is different because America, to be American is as American as having guns. And so anything that has to do with guns, I honestly think that it's literally in the Constitution and Amendment. I think that people don't care as much about the guns in Ja Morant. But I do think
the difference with Ja Morant, though, right, is because our community forgave him for the first one, but then you go back and do it a second time. So where's the correlation So you did this to your, like, you have talked to the league. You came out and apologized. You did your interview with Jalen Rose. You done did this. You done did that. You didn't apologize and did this. And then you still go back and do the same thing.
I get what you're saying.
So that's what I'm saying. You didn't get duped. Like it'd be if Ja came out the very first time he got the gun thing, man. Listen, I know I'm an NBA player and I signed the contract and I ain't read everything in the contract. I ain't know we couldn't have guns like that, right? Whatever the excuse is, and then he just didn't do it again, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you the pass because you said you didn't. So my thing is, if Giddy had this relationship and found out she was underage and then smashed again, I can understand because he put himself in the position.
Hold on. Did we know if he didn't smash again after he knew?
Yeah.
He didn't get one more on the road?
No, he did not. Like he said,
no take-home service.
Nope, he ain't get no take-home service. He found out the next day what was popping, and that's when he went and did all his stuff. And it's like, hey, no, I didn't.
I'm with you. I
just think it's two different situations, bro.
I agree with everything you're saying, but don't call him a victim. And I'm cool with that.
He is a victim. Anytime, if victim means, what is victim? Let's look up the definition of victim, because I don't understand why you having such an issue with this word when he was the one that. Let's look this up. All right. A person harmed, injured, or killed as a result of a crime, incident, or other event or action. So he is very much a victim.
No, it didn't say it didn't say unbeknowingly, none of that. So that's what to be a victim.
It doesn't have to be unbeknowingly. The thing is, he was a victim of a crime. If somebody dupes you, you are the victim. You're the one that was wronged. That's what a victim is. Somebody who's wronged. You are a victim.
Listen, bro. Listen. I'm not gonna listen. No, listen. I get what you're saying though, bro. My thing is
whoa, hold up. Here goes the second part of the definition. A person who is tricked or duped. That's a victim. That's in the definition, bro. What are you talking about? That's literally in the definition.
I don't have nothing to say then.
Dog, it's literally in the definition. It says the victim of
I don't have nothing to say.
A person who is
he better be listen. He better listen, bro. He better have been duped. If I'm gonna go with this, I'm gonna go with this, he better have been duped, bro. Don't tell me that. Listen, I better not find out. That Josh Giddy found out that she was 17, smashed one more time, and then put out his statement.
Bro, he met the chick at the club. This is the other bad part? He was hanging out with her brother, and her brother didn't even say nothing, bro.
His brother probably thought, you gotta know my sister 17. You out here hanging out with the little brother.
Bruh, what I'm saying is, bruh, we used to go to clubs when we was young, bruh. But we thought when we went to Mr. DJ's, we thought everybody we was in Killeen, so
City Lights is different.
Yeah, City Lights still had them young ones in there.
Yeah, but when we was going to City Lights, it was when we were underage, and most of the people that were there were overage.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, because we was in places underage, that there was a potential to be places that when you go to places that there were particularly underage people there. What I'm saying is most dudes on a regular weekend or whenever they go to the club are not in there like ID checking, is what I'm saying. He went to a club, went and had some good time, found a young lady, smashed, and then the next day found out she was underage. I can't.
Listen. I'm going to be honest with you. If he does a settlement with this chick, I'm going to be disappointed.
I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen.
If he's the victim, he shouldn't settle. If he's the victim,
you say that, but you ain't the one paying that dime.
I understand that, but my thing is
So you think that Diddy should have been fighting too?
If Diddy is not, listen. If they are lying on Diddy, Diddy should be fighting. Diddy should listen. This is how I know that there's a lot of truth in what she was saying. For one, She had a number in mind. I don't know what the issue is, but I don't know what the final number. But I'm gonna assume that Cassie got every single penny of that $30 million that they say she was asking for. But from that regards, though, bro, I think that listen, I don't know that if what Diddy did was criminal, right? But what I can't, and nor do I think that the people who sued him because they didn't go at him criminally. With that being said, if what she was saying is a lie, Diddy should have countersued her for defamation, inflammatory comments, defamation of character, the whole 9 yards. And I understand that, if you're going to pay out somebody a settlement, right, you're going to have to pay for lawyers anyway for that, though, bro. So from that regards, yeah. So if you are absolutely innocent of every single thing, if you really are the victim here, then you should be countersuing, though, bro.
So I've heard D.L. Hughley speak on this, and he basically said there's a couple of lawsuits that I've settled, and I was absolutely innocent. He said it because when we looked at what it was going to cost to prove my innocence versus what it was going to cost to settle, it made better sense to go ahead and just pay to get it off. Because, like, when you start, like, you look at Jonathan Majors, right? He's going through this, and I'm just, this is me talking. This is me. I believe he's innocent, right? But while he's trying to prove his innocence, he's losing more and more projects because the court of public opinion.
He's guilty of breaking up that fight with that big hat on, bro.
But that's different incident. All I'm saying is,
I get what you're saying. My thing is this: if you settle, I need to know that you settled out for a price that is less than or the same as the number that it would take for you to prove your innocence. So if your lawyer says, "Hey man, listen, it's gonna take, I'm gonna have to bill you $2 million, right? Or you can settle for her for $2 million, right? Or settle for her for $1 million." Like, I get that though, bro. If that's what we're doing, but I'm just saying though, bro. Don't. But I low key just have a problem when someone settles if they're truly in it. Like,
so you automatic. So what you're telling me, from what I hear from you, is that if you settle, that means there's some level of guilt. That's what you're saying.
Yes, the level of guilt. The level of guilt is the fact that he didn't know that she was 17. That's true. He's not. I think that's. I believe him on that. Let's say I believe him on that. But it still doesn't change the fact that you actually did it. So I think that he is guilty of smashing a 17-year-old.
Wait, who are you talking about? I'm talking about Diddy right now.
I'm talking about Giddy. But let's say Diddy. In Diddy's case, right? In Diddy's case, now I fully believe everything Cassie said. But
here's the thing, though. You and even with Giddy, bro. Even if it's like, listen, I can't. Dude is not on no he's on his rookie deal still, bruh.
Listen, man, I get what you're saying, but all I'm saying is that how did this girl get enough money to hire this high-powered lawyer?
I'm sure she's probably doing it with the assumption she's gonna get the settlement, so she'd have to pay off of the settlement. Listen, so it wasn't like I don't think she seeked her out. I think the high-powered lawyer seeked her for publicity.
I can see that. The guilt, to me, this is what I think. Not being guilty and having no guilt are two different things to me. Not guilty is not guilty is legally in terms of the court. The guilt, right? The guilt is the fact that she was 17 and you smashed. What I think that you're innocent of,
unknowing to him.
I get that. Unbeknown to him, she was 17, but you still smashed. That's the guilt. The not guilty is the unbeknown part. But it's not like he said, I didn't do it at all. So he said, I knocked it off. Yes. Unbeknown to me that
what I'm saying is, but here's the thing though, right? Had I not been duped, I would have never done this. But because I was, that's why it happened.
Maybe. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that whatsoever. I don't doubt that.
Right. But what I'm saying is him and Diddy are two different, meaning that Diddy has had long money for years. Giddy hasn't. So my thing is, I'm not going to be upset if because for one, it is now affecting the way that he plays. Giddy has not been the same for a couple of months. And my thing is that when you are constantly thinking about your life in somebody else's hands, I understand why that could be affecting. So my thing is, if I can get this taken care of, it ain't like where Diddy, right? He knew if he settled with one, then more would come, right? That's not gonna be the case. Like this was if he was truly duped, then this is a one-time thing, boom. And then from this point, nah, I'm IDing everybody, bro.
I want to believe what he said, given the things that have came out with Giddy, right? I get it. I'm just saying, to me, Diddy to me feels like he settled because he not just the guilt, right? Let's just set that aside. I think that Diddy settled because he didn't want the details to come out. Set aside all the allegations, right? The allegations are one thing, right? Because you could have already sued her if she said you coming out with this. I think that Diddy was looking to say, I don't want these things to come out.
Well, here's the thing. So Aubrey Day used to be in Danity Kane, right? Mm-hmm. Which was the girl group that ended up being on Making the Band.
Yeah.
Along with Day 26. They were the girl version of Day 26. And a part of, and then also we have Diddy's ex-security guard who's all been cooperating some of these stories that have started to come out. And Aubrey said they got emailed a copy of the NDA that they were supposed to sign in order for them to get their masters back.
Yep.
And she pleaded with the rest of the group, please don't sign it, because she's been a big advocate of saying, no, this is the things that happened while we were in Danity Kane. Diddy was trying to push up on us. Diddy was trying to do this. Diddy was trying to do that, allegedly, of course, of what this is what she said happened. So all I'm saying is, I do believe you on the fact that he probably didn't want certain details coming out. Of course, he's been in the game for a long period of time, and certain things were more acceptable back then than they are today.
Fact.
But at the same time, Diddy just released an album. He just got all these high-powered awards for, lifetime achievement, His career was in a way of trajectory going up, and he was building to do these tours and this, that, and the other, maybe grabbing some of the artists he had on the newer project and maybe let them do some solo songs, him do his Diddy songs, like just really, really setting up to do this. Now these allegations is coming out. He done already had to step down from Revolt. Like other investors are starting to pull out sponsors or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about, like, I need to pay this. I need to get this quiet so we can move on to something else. And sometimes the best way to do that is to settle. That's why for me, it's hard for me to believe. For one, I've never been in that position to have to make that type of decision. But at the same token, I can understand why somebody would want something to go away to start, because people get nervous and they start pulling away. That's what I mean about this Jonathan Majors thing. It's like you think about all the stuff he lost just off of this allegation.
Yeah. No, I get that, bro. I get it. Both things can be true.
Yeah. So, bro, Offset, Cardi just recently came out, I guess on a live, and said that said she's single. And so my question to you is, do you believe her this time?
I don't think so, bro.
You don't think so?
So the last time they came out, I don't think that they're not together, bro. I think that, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna say give it 3 months. Give me 3 months. Then I'll know for sure.
So you don't think she's divorced. You just think they separated and they just having another public spat.
I don't even think they separated, bro. They got to live. If you listen, if they are not in the same house, bro, and not just that, they are not together until somebody else smash Cardi, bro. Let me tell you where I'm going with that. she can say we're not together. I don't think that she's single until she's seen with somebody else, until there is another person. She might be taking some time to work on herself and everything like that. But I'm just saying, from an industry perspective, I won't believe it until I see her with somebody else. And until you say they filed for a divorce, or until I see her with somebody, and I only say that because they use something like this as a pub for his album. And the one, and it's one of my favorite songs, by the way, on his album. It's real dope. And I think, bro, that if this comes out, wouldn't be surprised if Cardi has a new album on the way, bro. I don't believe it. I don't know. Maybe some of it is that I don't necessarily want to believe it, but I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I think that, to be honest with you, I think that it's kind of one of those if Cardi drops a new album right now, though, bro, wow, Nicki Minaj has Pink Print out right now, bro. Listen. And think about the marketing aspect of this, right? Pink Friday comes out along the same time that she says that they're getting separated. Cardi drops an album out of nowhere. Next level. Doesn't it make sense?
I don't see. So you mentioned that, right? Cardi, her fans, when the album dropped, they were like, that was another. It was like the second highest trending topic right after hers is that we want Cardi. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
After Nicki, you mean after Nicki's album dropped?
Yeah. Okay. So when Nicki dropped, you know, she was the top trending thing, and the second highest trending thing was we want Cardi. This one don't feel like that this is what it is. Like I understand what you're saying, that like they had a plan before. I really do think that now I will say, I don't know that I think they're like I would need to see some papers dropped that she's filing for divorce. I just think they have a public relationship. They're having another big fight, and they could be living in separate houses at the moment.
If you telling me that this man, this is why I don't believe it, bro. Let me tell you, you know the reason why I don't believe it for real?
Why?
The reason why I don't believe it for real is because they said that he was divorced because he got caught cheating with Krishan Rock, Blueface's baby mom. Oh, listen, once I saw Krishan in it, I said, oh, I know it's all. Because everything that they do is for a headline grab. Now get this, right? Krishan, they say he was cheating with Krishan. Blueface responds, well, no, let me take a step back. Krishan went and got her Blueface tattoo on her throat covered up, right? Then she went ahead and got her son's name tattooed on her, right? Blueface comes back out and says, hey, having somebody's name and face so it don't really matter when you just was sleeping with a whole nother married man, you know what I'm saying, XYZ long ago, right? And so then I'm thinking like, all right, well, Blueface is in there. Then it tells me that it's one of them publicity stunts. It's Blueface and Krishan. That's what they do. So the minute you bring that into, listen, if it was anybody else, if it was just another video vixen, if it was just a random girl who was waiting at the MARTA station out here though, bro, if you just tell me he picked up some girl at the Doraville MARTA station and he was caught on film or on tape, somebody got a picture of him with this girl on the MARTA bus, I would believe that before I believe that he stepped out on Cardi B for Krishan. That's just how I look at it. So I don't believe that, bro. I don't. And then, wait a minute. And then they come out and Blueface says he does a DNA test and found out that her baby ain't his. And I'm just thinking like, what? Like, it's too much. And when it involves them, that it makes it all fake though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, have you listened to Pink Print? I
listened to probably 6 songs.
What'd you think about it, bro?
It's just okay.
Oh my God, listen, bro.
Like I haven't heard a song yet where I'm like, oh, this one.
Yes, I'm listen, bro. I'm low key mad because all I've heard, I'm up to 6 songs. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't that impressed with the song that she has with J. Cole.
What about Drake?
I didn't get to the Drake song yet, but I got to the song. My favorite song so far is R&B. This is by far the best song on there. But listen, bro. It's just a bunch of okay songs. They're not whack.
It's not whack. And and my thing is, if you're a Nicki fan, I know you're appreciative of getting a new album. And here's the thing: as an artist myself, and understand how hard and difficult it is to create, I'm not criticizing at all. I just feel like I said, for my listening ear, I didn't hear anything that was out of here. Like, you know, like when we very first heard WAP, we knew there was
gone. It was gone. I have not heard a WAP yet. I haven't heard a Bodak. I haven't heard a Body Yaddy. Let me say this. Let me stop. What I appreciate about it so far is that it sounds just like Nicki. She ain't doing nobody else's style. She is totally in her bag on this. I think the problem that I'm having 6 songs in is I'm not hearing the banger. I didn't hear the banger to start the album off. And then I was thinking, like, maybe you just kind of go, all right, this is the intro. The next one, you hit it out of the park. I'm not hearing no bangers on it at all, though, man. And that's why I'm just like, dog, I'm low-key disappointed. I love the rapping that she's doing. She's doing her thing. Don't hear none of them things, though, bro. None of them.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Who else I was gonna say? I still haven't listened to the Chris Brown, right? But I did see that Kanye been out and about, kind of previewing his new album, and I got to be honest, I know that it's him doing his live thing, but the music sounds incredible, bro. I didn't like the last Kanye, but I think that this one here seems like it could be what those last 2 to 3 Kanyes have been leading up to sound like, bro. So I've seen like the clips that got out there of him previewing it with the artists that are on the songs, though, bro. He got this song that he got with Chris Brown that sounds cold, bro. Sounds like it's gonna be out of there.
Okay. I mean, I'm here for it. I think he's been quiet long enough.
Yeah.
That we can expect to hear some amazing stuff. And he's kept his nose clean for quite a while. He's been quiet, bro. And so there's been enough in the news cycle to kind of kick it out that people are forgiven with some fire music.
I think so. I think this one could be one of them ones, though, man. What you got going for the week?
For the week, I got to finish off. I got another song that I need to finish to be done with the project. Then I'll start previewing everything to make sure that I'm comfortable and cool with everything. So that's, and then I got a Sweet 16 that's coming up this week. So that's about it for me, bro.
Man, I'm hoping to get the studio back up. Listen, that was the one thing. I had my birthday party this past weekend. It was epic party, though, man. Shout out to the bad guy who pulled up on you, boy, by the way.
What's up?
But the one thing that was kind of whack, though, man, is I thought that I'd have the studio up and running, but my equipment got delayed. So I'm looking to go ahead and put that all up. If it's supposed to come on Friday, so I'm looking forward to Friday because I'm actually probably just gonna spend the day getting everything set on up in my man cave, though, bro. Though, so I'm pretty excited. In the meantime, though, man, I've been writing some songs that I'm hoping to finish on up. That I'm looking forward to recording, though, man. Hopefully, I can get in there as soon as this weekend, though.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
man. Well, look, man, we appreciate y'all for joining us, and we are the Slash Brothers, and it's getting close to Christmas, bro. So we appreciate y'all, and for everybody that's watching on the playback, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And like, subscribe, do all of that fun stuff, and we out.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast. the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?